up, guys? Welcome to this latest episode of the Mufasa Sports Club. As you already know, I am your host, Mufasa, and you already know the drill. Thanks so much again for continuing supporting the channel, helping the channel grow. Please continue to subscribe, continue to like the videos, continue to share it amongst your community, your friends and family. It is free. I would like to hear some more from you. Post some comments, let me know what you think. Let's have some conversation. Please continue to support the channel. Thank you so much again for your support. We are going to be talking about the conference finals happening right now in the NBA between the Indiana Pacers and the Knicks in the Eastern Conference, and the Minnesota Timberwolves and Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference. Before we start that, I want to start off with congratulating Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for his MVP trophy. In my previous video, I said I would have still given it to Nikola Jokic for his outstanding performances, but I wouldn't be mad if he was getting it, and I really thought they were gonna give it to him, especially because of voters fatigue. That doesn't take anything away from the outstanding performance that he had. So congratulations again to SGA for that achievement. Congratulations to LeBron James and Steph Curry for making a second team All-NBA also at this age. Steph being 37 I believe, and LeBron 40 years old, and still being able to perform at that high level and get a second team All-NBA. That is just amazing work. These two people continue to defy all odds of Father Time, and I just think it's important to honor them when they're still playing this game at this high level, and they will definitely be missed once they retire. With that being said, the conference finals and the Eastern, funny enough, both conferences are being led right now 2-0 respectively by the Pacers on the Eastern Conference and the Oklahoma City Thunder on the Western Conference, both leading by 2 games in these respective conferences. But the Pacers went and stole 2 games in Madison Square Garden, the so-called mecca of basketball, and the Thunder actually just went ahead and secured home court advantage and took care of business at home against the Timberwolves. We are going to start with the Western Conference, the Eastern Conference rather, side of the things, and the Pacers, like I was saying earlier, going in and still in 2 games at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. This is a very interesting turn of events that I don't think anybody had in the bingo card. I think the Knicks were the favorites for this series, just like the Celtics were in the previous series, and this is 2 upset that the Pacers were able to have, just the way the Knicks earlier series in the second round were able to have with the Boston Celtics as well. And this team of Indiana just is the true definition of strength in numbers. This is a team that, even though there is a pecking order with Tyrese Haliburton being the number 1 option, and Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner being probably the number 2 and 3 option on that team, you don't know who might be having the hot hands at any given night. This is a team that relies on a collective effort. There's no superstar per se on that team. They all contribute and go deep. I want to really shout out Rick Carlisle for the amazing job that he has been doing with this Pacers team, and the Indiana Pacers front office also for trusting that roster, believing in continuity and not just blowing things off left and right. This is a team that was in the conference finals last year against the Celtics, and just against all odds again this year, are came back to the conference finals again and have a very big chance to be in the NBA finals this season. I think Rick Carlisle, like I was saying, is a very underrated coach. Does not really get a lot of attention in the media, and is doing an amazing job. And we tend to forget that Rick Carlisle is a champion. He was the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks in 2011 when they go on this crazy run with Dirk Nowitzki and beat all these major teams in the Western Conference to end up winning the championship in 2011. So major props to Rick Carlisle and his guys. His Pacers team are really showing NBA teams that this idea of superstars and having 2 to 3 superstars is obsolete and is no longer productive. And this is also what the Oklahoma City Thunder are showing to this NBA world. And with this, NBA being a copycat league, I would not be surprised if a lot of front offices tend to just start building the teams following that route. I think they have been really outplaying the Knicks, especially by relying on the bench, going deep with guys like TJ McConnell, Obi Toppin coming off the bench, giving some production. Ben Shepherd also coming off the bench, giving them production. Thomas Bryant in little spurts being able to assist and give up some production out there as well. They go deep, 9 to 10 players a game, and this has been a team that, just like the name, play with amazing pace, which is really disturbing the flow of the Knicks offense, and the Knicks, unfortunately, being not being a deep team, is really being outplayed on that end. And now you start to actually notice the toll of those heavy minutes that the Knicks players have been having from the beginning of the season to up until these playoffs. They had a 7-game series against the Detroit Pistons, a shorter series against the Celtics, but a physical series as well. And now with this rotation on the Knicks end being about barely 6-7 deep, sometimes 8, you start to see that strength in number is really dominating in this instance. This is a Knicks team that in the first game had it all on the platter and we're just supposed to win that game, but go on an incredible choke job to end up losing the game with, I think, them leading by 9 points with 50 something seconds left in the game. This is absolutely insane. This is a great choke job by the Knicks. I'm not mad against it. I'm not mad about it, especially with everything that I've seen online and these fools in New York throwing a garbage can on a firefighter who was wearing a Pacers jersey. I do not like Knicks fans. I'm a Sixers fan, so that is just something that is just normal. And I think the Knicks are basically the Cowboys of basketball. They think they the best thing invented since sliced bread, but they're not, and they always get so hype about their teams to end up losing. I know my teams are my basketball team is not necessarily better right now, but it's just a bunch of cocky people for the most part, and I'm not mad at all that they in this situation. But back to the game, I think what the Pacers are showing here is really great, and Tyrese Haliburton has been leading this team, proving again that he's not an underrated player. Pascal Siakam has shown up on this game too with, I think, 39 points, and he's a player that could be very very inconsistent in terms of production, but can really go on a hot streak also. And his championship pedigree, along with Rick Carlisle, is definitely showing up in this series. And guys like Aaron Nesmith, Miles Turner, Andrew Nembhard also playing well and contributing is really impacting the outcome of this series. The Knicks, on the other end, are really in a tough situation. Losing the first two games at home, you have to win game 3. If you don't win that game 3, it's over. And the very interesting aspect of this series right now is you have the Knicks' best players that are actually playing well. Jalen Brunson is almost averaging 40 points a game, and they still lost both games. And just like in the Boston Celtics series, this might now be a tall task to climb and come back in this series, because even if the Pacers give up one game, if they do win one of the two games that are going to be played in Indiana right now, this series is basically up 3-1 and for the most part over, because you have your top players in Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns playing pretty good basketball, and you still find a way to lose these games. And unfortunately, when things like that start happening, it's a mental toll. It takes a mental toll on this team, and now the game becomes way more mental than physical. As a matter of fact, it's really a tough predicament that the Knicks are in, and it's gonna take a tremendous job for them to be able to come back in this series and take it all. I think what's his name? Drawing a blank right now with the Knicks. Tom Thibodeau in this game 2 actually tonight was even at some point because of foul trouble, but also because Mitchell Robinson was giving him a defensive presence that Karl Anthony Towns wasn't given. Had to basically bench him for most of the fourth quarter, and the outcome was about the same. I think this is a team that is definitely mentally down right now, and like I was saying, it's going to take a strong mental effort for them to be able to come back here and win this series. So kudos to the Pacers again for them being able to come out there in New York and win these 2 games. And I'm excited to see what the other 2 games are have in store for us. But I'm definitely, obviously, putting an advantage on the Pacers, and I think they probably close this series in 5 or 6 games. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I think the Knicks probably go ahead and steal 1 game and extend the series to a 5 games or possibly 6 games, depending on how it goes. If you're the Pacers, though, you don't want to mess around and give them 2 games at home as well, because this is what's that gonna do is basically have a whole momentum shift again, and you don't want to put yourself in that predicament. I think the Pacers learned that also from the previous series that they had against the Cavs, and I just think physically, with those amount of minutes being played and the Pacers being such a deep team, I think they end up going ahead and taking on this series and winning it. On the other hand, with the Western Conference Finals, the Oklahoma City Thunder protect home court, take care of business at home, leading 2-0. That's another example of strength in numbers too. This is a Thunder team that is also super deep and has a lot of talent around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is the number 1 option out there and the undeniable leader of that team. But you have guys like Jalen Williams playing amazing basketball next to him. Chet Holmgren has been very efficient during this series as well, and unfortunately Anthony Edwards is pretty much on a lonely island out there by himself, looking for help from his teammates. Julius Randle had a very nice game 1, but hasn't been super productive in game 2. And I think one of the biggest differences in that series is the bench. You have a guy like Naz Reid, who is currently 0-12 from 3, is not really being productive coming off the bench for the Timberwolves, and same with Dante DiVincenzo, as opposed to the bench from the Thunder, where you got guys like Alex Caruso coming off the bench and contributing and being able to lead the second unit as well, even though he doesn't have the ball that much, but coming in with that championship experience, adding a huge pop plus to the game, coming off the bench for the Thunders. And it's the same thing with, guys like Cason Wallace coming off the bench as well. And it's just a collective effort, and every single player on that Oklahoma City Thunder team can defend the basketball. It's a very defensive minded team that takes pleasure in defending together, having active hands, being really aggressive on the ball, and having deflections, and they're really good in transition defense. This is a team that does not give up on any play, and it's just amazing to see how these young Thunder are playing. And I truly think they're gonna win this NBA championship, barring any injuries. I think because they're so deep and also so big with Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein, this is gonna be a very interesting. My prediction, as you can see, is going to be Pacers versus Thunder in the finals, but it's just going to be a pretty tall task for the Pacers, I believe. So I'm predicting the Thunder to win this championship, obviously barring any major injuries. Excuse me, but yeah, I think the Thunder win this and obviously then go past the Minnesota Timberwolves also in 5 or 6 games. I don't think the Timberwolves have enough firepower to overcome this 2-0 deficit out there too. It's gonna probably take a tremendous game from Anthony Edwards for them to even be able to win one game. They just look really, really outmatched and inferior to the Thunder team right now. And it's gonna be an interesting offseason for the Timberwolves, with some major decision coming, whether it's Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Naz Reid, Julius Randle deciding what they will be doing for the following season, especially with them being so close to that second apron. So we will definitely be having videos in the future discussing what they need to do, but they need to add some firepower in order for them to take that extra step and go win it all. This is also their second year in a row being in the conference finals, and I think they just need to be able to add on offensively, especially, and give that help that Anthony Edwards so desperately needs on this team. So congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder as well on this amazing run that they have in. It's been a team that has been super dominant in the regular season, and also have proven throughout this playoffs that they for real. And like I said, I have them winning this whole thing. So this is what I have so far for these first 2 games of each of the conference finals. And like I said, I think the Pacers and the Timberwolves will be facing each other in the NBA finals, with probably the Timberwolves. The Pacers and the Thunder, with the Oklahoma City Thunder probably taking this whole thing and winning this NBA season. We're gonna be, of course, continue to go over these games as they continue to evolve. And if there's any major turnaround, then we're gonna be talking about it. But this is all I have for this episode. Like I continue to say, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, let us know what you think in the comments, and until the next video, Continue to take care of yourself, and have a great rest of the week, guys. Happy Memorial Day, and take care. Ciao.